one virtue of highly successful, highly impactful people is the fact that they never, as a pattern of life, I'm sure you will do well. The more you learn, the more you learn. The way you become qualified, that is not knowledge and experience.
This is for real. Re-issues, re-solution by the word.
I'm so delighted at the privilege and the opportunity to come your way every week to be a blessing to you. And I want to appreciate those of you that take out time to call in, to send in your emails, especially requesting questions, some even critiquing, and some wanting to know how they can be a part of this. We appreciate all your calls. Keep calling in. The numbers and the contacts will always be on the screen, and there'll be somebody at the other end to respond to you. Thank you one more time. Last week, I began a 2-part serial. Maybe I need to extend it to 3 weeks now because there's so much to talk about that we titled Foundation for Marital Bliss. Foundation for Marital Bliss. Last week, I spoke on 7 very inclusive reasons why you needed to ensure that you experience bliss in your marriage. We spoke about the long-term effect, the mid-term effect, and the short-term effect of all of the implications of not enjoying the bliss you need to enjoy in your marriage situation. But today, like promised, while I was wrapping up last week, I said I was going to be explaining or taking it further on what you might want to call the fundamental reason for marriage, the purpose for marriage. I believe that in a lot of circles, there are misunderstandings. As we run our Just Couples conferences in this city and many other nations of the world, and the singles meetings, one of the questions we like to elicit an answer from the people for is the question is, why do you want to marry? Very simple question, but you will be amazed. It's almost like if you have 100 people, you should expect a minimum of 50 different reasons why people want to marry. And believe me, all of them are important. You can't play down on anyone. Some will tell you, I want to marry to escape the control of parents. Some will say, I want to be able to have freedom to express my sexual desire. Some will tell you it's because they believe that they need their spouse to be able to go for many diverse reasons. I do that all the time. But I always come in to establish to them that in order to understand the fundamental purpose, the overriding reason for marriage, we must get back to the beginning where God instituted the concept of marriage and look around it to be able to glean precisely what God's intention was when marriage was instituted. But before I get into that, I think it's important that I establish what I call the 5 levels of human interaction. The 5 levels of human interaction. We as human beings, we come together at 5 different levels. The first level is to compete, not in any particular order. I'm just trying to establish the 5 levels at which we interact as human beings. The first level is to compete in a competition. It could be sports, it could even be academic, it could be everything social, where we'll try to see how somebody there is competing with us, want to either outdo one another, sometimes for fun, sometimes for a laurel or a prize. So competition is a basis for human interaction. The second one is even conflict. For every human conflict, there are 2 people or more coming together and having disagreement or disagreeable issues for which, conflicts now result. The conflicts could be mild, could be aggressive, could even be conflict as serious as war. It is still a human interaction, conflict. The third one is criticism, or to be a critic. When you look at some work, there are people who are professionals at this. To be a critic is not all the time negative. No, it just means that you have an eye for details. You have an eye for certain things that others do not generally see or perceive or give importance to, and you have a way of bringing it to the fore, especially fundamentally with a view to helping people improve on their eventual outcome. So critics or criticism is the third level of human interaction. The fourth level is the level of compatibility, where we feel that there are certain people we love, we are very compatible with them, and this is the best basis for friendship. A friend is somebody who to a large extent is compatible with you in one dimension or the other of your life, whereby the person see eyeball to eyeball with you on maybe on a hobby, or even in your career, on something of interest. So you discover that you are compatible. So when you are Christian friends, for instance, there's a measure of compatibility because you believe in the same God, you worship the same God, and possibly you even go to the same church. So compatibility, is another basis for human interaction. But the fifth one, and that's the one I'm going to be dwelling on in the course of this brief session, is the basis of interaction that I call complement or completing. Now, this is the basis upon which marriage ought to and should be established. To complete or to complement. That is to say, somebody you interact, you deal with on the principal basis of knowing that the person is coming to supply what you are not, provide what you don't have. As it says, is to complete you or to complement you. And I believe that if you go through the scriptures, you cannot but agree that the number one reason for marriage should be to complement or to complete us, not to be compatible. I've heard it said, in fact, there are a lot of online studies that allude to the fact that the number one reason or basis for determining who your spouse should be compatibility. And I said, no, absolutely not. First and foremost is the fact that the concept of compatibility in its entirety is a myth. And once you marry for the whole reason, spirit, soul, and body. It's not going to be compatibility simply because you both speak in tongues or go to the same church. It's not enough reason. That the person is born again. It doesn't automatically mean, on the basis of spiritual compatibility, that's meant to be your spouse. Not at all. I will explain further. Now, in the book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 18 to be precise, the Bible there says, I read, that God speaking says, it is not good for man to be alone. It is not good for man to be alone. Let's deconstruct that verse. Now, here was a man created in the image of God, the best of God's creation. It was basically the governor general of the earth. He was in control of the animals, the plants. He named everything. He was rich, established, was full-grown adult. And God came looking at him and said, no. There's something missing. This man is not complete being alone. So what am I going to do? God said, I will make for him a help suitable, fitted, conditioned for him. He is not good being alone. So there are deficiencies, there are voids, there are vacancies, there are vacuums, there are areas in his life. And in order to fill up that area, he said, I will make for him a help that is suitable. Suitable for what? Suitable to meet that need. Suitable to fill that void. Suitable to help that person become fully what the person ought to be. There's not a concept of compatibility as an essential aspect of marriage. The first thing there is to complement or to complete the man. So I go further to explain to you, and I think this is very critical. Now, a misunderstanding of this, I used to practice law, by secular training. I'm a lawyer, and most of the reasons, and I did family law in school, and I've seen a lot of these family cases. If you reduce to writing to more of an trying to evaluate the major reasons why people divorce, it comes down to what they call irreconcilable differences. And I always say that is a clear misunderstanding of the essential, fundamental, overriding purpose for which the marriage in the first place came together. You are actually different. There are no two people that are the same. My wife and I, we have a set of twins, our first kids, a set of twins, a boy and a girl. They are very different in everything. In relationship, in what view, in everything. Even so-called identical twins don't behave the same way. Basic science have let us know that there are no two humans that are alike. So if you are expecting that you are going to have somebody you get married to who is fully and wholly compatible with you, then you're going to search forever. The concept of compatibility in that dimension in marriage is a myth. I've had people say, okay, try and look for compatibility factors on as many levels as possible. That in itself is a myth. And I need to take my time and explain to you what it means to have a complement. You stay tuned and I'll be back.
To you. You reign on the throne, for you are God and God alone. Because of you, my cloudy days are gone. I can sing to you this song. I just want to say that I love you more than anything.
Welcome back. The topic again is Foundation for Marital Bliss, and we've been emphasizing very strongly the fact that the number one reason for marriage is for complement, to complete who you are or to help you fulfill your purpose. Now, there are a number of reasons why it's so important we get this. Every time you understand that your spouse is an essential part of you, it creates a sense of worth, a sense of value. You look at your spouse as a vital value addition to your life. Not somebody who has come as an intrusion, not just somebody who has come to escort you or to dare to create pleasure for you or just to act like you. No, that person, the reason for marriage, the way you must see your spouse fundamentally is that whether male or female, is that without this person, I am incomplete. Without this person, I can't fulfill my purpose maximally. You know, in Genesis chapter 2, verse 15, God gave Adam a job. Verse 18, God gave him a wife. Why? It takes a definition of the job, an understanding of the job to appreciate the kind of wife you need. Why is that important? I mean, I'm a pastor. I need a pastor's wife. Somebody who has the inclination, the ability to operate in the office of a pastor's wife. Otherwise, her help to me will be limited, grossly limited. Now, I say to people, it's not all about children. After 20 something, maximum 25 or above, you're going to have an empty nest where your children leave home and you're going to be back with your spouse. What takes on a man, a person, for the rest of his or her life is the overriding purpose for which they live. That thing in them that they see themselves living for. And that is your purpose in life for which you need a spouse. But another aspect is that the reason why God says you need help is to amplify your work. It is not good for a man to be alone. He wants to amplify you. He wants to increase your result. He wants to better your output in life. So he brings you somebody where the Bible says in the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 4 verse 9, 2 is better than 1 because they have a better return, a better result for all of their labor. So God needs you to know that you are meant, this person meant to come in and complement or complete you. Another reason why complement is the fundamental purpose for marriage is that it's the best way to create excitement. True excitement is not something that is fleeting. It's not something that is temporary or very brief. It's something that endures. Endures because it's connected to a need in your life. Now, that's why I say to people, when you get married, you must find a way to ensure that you allow the liberty of expression to your spouse. Whosoever is your spouse or spouse to be is a vital aspect of you. Somebody you need to receive and celebrate as a complement of your life and destiny. Till I come your way again next week, remain blessed. Bye-bye.
Lift my hands in total adoration unto you. You reign on the throne, for you are God and God alone. Because of you, my cloudy days are gone. I can sing to you this song. I just want to say that I love you more than anything. Yeah. Worship you, Lord. Yeah. Oh Lord, I will worship you always, always and of days. I will worship you always. You are worthy to be praised. I worship you, my one and my only friend. I will be with you from I'm living